Hello, movie club. Josh. Shona. Um, Movie that we watched this week was Jiro Dreams of Sushi, which was a documentary about a gentleman, or a man, called Jiro, who liked to call himself, I can't remember the shikunin, I think that is the name of it. It was basically the Japanese word for craftsman. This guy who dedicated his life to the craft of creating good sushi. So he's like, he wanted to have a profession, so it was chef, and then he wanted to specialize in a certain type of cuisine, and that was, sushi, which, like, you'd think, like, of the little California rolls that you see at the shops, and, like, you see the stuff that he makes, and it's, like, blows your mind. I read a lot of comments from last week's video. Everyone kept saying how bad it was going to be. I was sort of thinking that this was going to be some awful thing. I was going to be like, oh no, it's going to be another Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie. It's going to suck. Oh, I'm going to hate it. But it's actually really cool. I liked it. I think it was one of those ones where I know I appreciate it because I find that kind of stuff interesting. Like when someone has a passion and you can kind of like see why it is. Like by the end of it, I wanted to be like a food writer. That's how it made me feel. And I've just found it really interesting how like he dedicated his life and he's still going. He's 85 years old and he still hasn't retired and he still works every day except for days where he's not allowed to work because it's a public holiday. And like the fact that his restaurant is one of a few 3 Michelin star restaurants, and people book months in advance, and the minimum that they spend is about 30,000 yen, which I haven't done the conversion of, but I'm pretty sure that's a lot of money. And so yeah, this whole movie was about Jiro and the fact that he left home at 9, and I found it quite funny, but also a little bit tragic, that his idea on family was, once you leave, that if a family said, if things don't work out, you can come back, that he considered that as a weakness, and that your children won't succeed if you treat them like this. Once they're out on their own, they're out on their own, that's it. And he left home when he was 9 or something, which I can't fathom. Like, it's just a foreign concept to me, for someone that young to start work and go out and leave home. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I guess it's, it was the 30s and stuff, but yeah. What else? Like his family, I thought that was pretty cool. Like I really actually liked the way that he and his sons interacted. Although he had that opinion of family, like the way he and his sons did life was actually really cool. And like they respected him, even though like he wasn't around much when they were younger, but he made an effort as they got older and started, at least mentoring them and showing them the ropes in the kitchen. Like, they wanted to finish high school, so he let them, and then they wanted to do college, and he said, why don't you just come and, do a couple of days here and you see how you go. So that was pretty cool. It was interesting thought as far as how they'd succeed him. Because like the food writer, I can't remember his name, but kept saying that he was at this one level, and it doesn't matter how hard that his sons work after he's gone, because of this legend that's been built up about Jiro, that even if they match him, they'll always be seen as less as him, and in order to meet his level, they'll probably have to go far above him, if not twice as good, in order to be seen at level. And it's not whether or not they are that good, it's just as far as like this big, legend that is Jiro, the master of sushi, who's spent 80 years dedicating his life to cooking and making good food and flavor and what's delicious and improving everything. Like, I thought it was really cool. He said, the moment that you think you know everything, you're deluding yourself, and then you realize that you were wrong and you become depressed. And then the look on his face was like, oh. I thought that was really funny. But it's true. Like, the moment you think that you know everything is the moment that you know far less than you knew before, because you're refusing to learn any more than you already did. And it's always good to get to a certain level and then try and push above that and keep going and going. And that's how you become good at what you do and how you succeed. Overall, I'd say it's a really, really good movie. Probably not one that you just go watch if you're like, oh, let's just watch something, I'm really tired, let's just put something out. You need to be awake for this one, especially because you have to read all the subtitles. It is in Japanese. Japanese. But I had fun with my little translate app on my phone, just like translating some of the words and like practicing and that kind of stuff. I thought that was kind of fun. But yeah, pretty good movie. I think that's it.